All right, I'm James Detroit. I appreciate you stopping in, checking this out. If you like it, please share it with somebody else. I thank you for subscribing. And what are we going to talk about today? Leaving the polls this morning. I feel, a little torn about voting and the whole idea that I got to vote Republican or Democrat in the primary. I guess my minimal civics understanding, and it might be more or less than somebody else, but I would say I'm perplexed at that I have to declare, as well as I want to know why the sheriff, the chief law enforcement officer, the CLEO of any county, has to declare or be a Republican or a Democrat. If the law is blind, if justice is blind, then the enforcement of the law should be blind as well. So I don't know. I'm a little bit torn about that. Also, if you have any concerns about whether or not, as I'd mentioned in previous posts, voting Democrat is voting for a bunch of crap, if you have any concerns about that at all, well, now that a very aggressive, totally socialist, totally communist leader, and I should say leader because we'll get to that in a minute, but is supporting Joe Biden. And why would they do that? If he was a centrist, then he wouldn't be supporting him. But they really think, the people on the left, strong left, far left, they really believe they can steer Joe Biden any way they want to. So that means that you are voting to defund and eliminate the police. That means that you are voting, if you vote for Joe Biden, and this is my worldview, my opinion, that means that you are voting for a lack of sovereignty, the elimination of the United States of America sovereignty. That means you're voting for open borders. That means you're voting for amnesty. That means that you are voting for the elimination of the Second Amendment. The inability for us to be able to own, and you say, well, they'll never be able to take all the guns away. You're right, only the criminals will have them, but it's about eliminating and taxing to where you can't afford the ammunition and creating bureaucracy whereby you can't get the ammunition. What good is a gun? It's just an object to throw at somebody or to poke at somebody if it's a long gun, if you don't have any bullets that'll come out of it. There's so many more things, more taxes, more regulations, more bureaucracy if you vote for the Democrat. And it's not even, it would be one thing if Joe Biden was a strong man of character. The first 2 times he ran for president, he lied and was caught, but now the mainstream media is not talking about that. And what else does the mainstream media tell us? And we do this on a regular basis. We talk about our leaders. No, these are elected officials. They work for me. They work for you. These are not our leaders. If you choose to follow them, then they would become your leader. They work for me. They work for you. They work for us. They're supposed to anyway. A leader is somebody I will follow. I am not following most of these people. But as I've said it before, I don't agree with everything about Donald Trump. I don't agree with some of his personality traits. I'm not like, there's no man love there for me. But I will tell you this. I'm on the record and I'll continue to say this because he has been, contrary to what the mainstream media says, he's been the most transparent president. We know exactly what he's thinking. And never in the history of politics has the mainstream media placed the bar so high on lying and holding Donald Trump to, well, he just lies all the time. Well, if that's the case, then Joe Biden makes Donald Trump look like a truth teller always. Nobody's lied more than Joe Biden. And Donald Trump has done everything he campaigned on that he's been able to accomplish in the face of all obstruction and a great deal of illegal activity against his administration prior to becoming president and in transition and during his presidency. I really do hope we get a chance to see 4 more years. I really do hope that the United States of America, of the people, by the people, for the people, gets that opportunity, because 50 years of politics, Joe Biden, and he wants to run from everything that he considered an accomplishment before. I'll give you one example: helping to write the crime bill in the 90s. And now he wants to say that he can show real prison reform. He had 8 years to push any of that with his wingman, so-called. So-called wingman, Barack Obama. Or they were wingmen together. If I seem frustrated, you're right, I am. Elected officials are not necessarily leaders. The policies that this president has followed through with is more campaign promises than any president in my lifetime. I'm trying to think of the last real leader we had in the office of presidency that was an elected official that was truly a leader. And I'm not sure. It's you got to go back to John Kennedy and Dwight Eisenhower. These are men that could truly lead others. And I don't know, no disrespect about Ronald Reagan, but I know that there was an aspect of his politics. And as I'm thinking about it right now, because this is not anything I planned on talking about, but just my thoughts out loud, exercising my First Amendment, which, oh, by the way, if you don't think the left wants to eliminate that, you are incorrect. This cancel culture, and if I say something, oh, I have to be hated, and I have to be publicly shamed, and I need to change my opinion. But I guess I could consider Ronald Reagan a leader. People would follow him. And let me talk about that public shaming real quick. Do you realize that's what they do in communist China? Under Mao and the Cultural Revolution, they used to take people out in the public square, and they would have these shamings until the person would admit, yeah, I'm wrong. I'm a rotten piece of crap, and I'm wrong. I apologize. Oh, does that sound familiar? White fragility? And the fact that you have people that are saying, take a knee right now and apologize for your white privilege. You got the wrong guy here. I'm working right now. I'm somebody that believes in working. Go to work every day. Even when I'm on vacation, I'm working. I guess that's because I'm a small business owner. And that's what we always do. We're trying to build business day in and day out. Man. The challenges of today. Woo! United States of America, greatest country ever created. of the people, by the people, for the people. The Constitution, as written and as amended, has given more people upward mobility than any other governance in the history of the world. It doesn't need to be fixed. It actually needs to be honored and followed. E pluribus unum. Out of many, one. The idea is that you come to this country through the front door, through the legal system, and then you assimilate into being an American. You can still have your culture, you can still have your ethnicity, but you're an American Greek, you're an American Irish, you're an American German, you're an American Kenyan. Oh, and by the way, in my phone is an Uber driver from Vegas. 2016, I was out there just after the election, and I asked that gentleman who had came here, learned our civics, became a legal immigrant, and I asked him, with all this from the election, how did you vote? What do you think of President Trump? And he was so passionate about saying, that's my president. He's for me. He and his wife and their child, and now his mother, and he was working on getting his sisters into this country legally. And he said, it's a disgrace to me that an entire party would disrespect me and the rules that I followed coming into this country. And he was so passionate about saying Donald Trump was his president. And I'm willing to believe that that's most of the people that came into this country. I was fortunate. I was born in this country, like many others. It is a republic if we can keep it. I say we start putting forth a little bit more of an effort. I told you, back in March is when I became woke. And I am now, through critical thinking and my worldview, an incredibly dangerous man. Because I'm fighting for my neighbors. I'm fighting for the principles that created the United States of America. You're not always going to agree with me. I'm not always going to agree with you. But we are Americans. I hope you have a great day. I'm going to go try and generate some business, create some connectivity between people, and hopefully win-win exchanges. As perplexed as I was leaving that polling booth, I feel good about voting. If you like what you hear today, please share it with somebody else. Please subscribe. I'm James Detroit, and I'm out.